This is the final look, and I must say she eats. What's up, my beauties, and welcome back to another freaking video. So today we're going to be doing a get ready with me while I try new products. TikTok made me buy them. I was watching the girlies do their makeup on TikTok to see what I'm late on and what I've missed. And I saw this girl using the NYX Blur foundation, and I had to go buy it because the way it just melted into her skin, I'm like, oh my gosh. It made me want it so bad. And then I also have been seeing the girlies rave over this e.l.f. primer, so we're going to try that as well. I got the goods, and I wanted to bring you guys along with me. So this is what we're starting off with. The e.l.f. primer that everybody has been raving about. The setting spray, this is not the exact one that I heard the girlies talking about, but I wanted to try this one instead of the other one because I feel like this one is going to do what I needed to more so than the other one would have. This is going to be like a long lasting, but this is a setting spray that I want to use for the baby shower, and I need it to last, you know, all night. So we're going to use that. This is the foundation that I was referring to. I'm hype about this, y'all. When I put it on in the store, it literally melted into my skin, and I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. And then this is some e.l.f. concealer. I did see this as well that the girlies were using. It was super full coverage, so I want to give it a try, and so I got it. I also have been using the NYX concealer. Didn't even know that this was the brand that I've had because I've had it so long, and I've been using it literally in every video that you saw me do my makeup in thus far. So I can't say that you will go wrong with buying this. This is definitely a staple now in my makeup collection, so I definitely will recommend this. It's definitely full coverage as well, so yeah. So while we do our makeup, we're going to talk about why I quit my job at 5 months pregnant in the middle of planning a wedding. Why I quit my 6-figure job while 5 months pregnant in the middle of planning a wedding. So we're just going to jump right into it. For those of you that don't know, I was working in corporate America for about 5.5 years. Actually, this August would have made 6 years. So yes, 5.5 years, because I quit in April. And for very good reasoning. And like most African American women in a predominantly white setting, I felt overlooked, overworked, and underpaid. I didn't feel like they appreciated me. I felt like I brought more to the table than I was getting paid for or acknowledged for. And the responsibilities that I was forced to take on while getting paid the same as everyone else on my team was crazy. How do they say it nowadays? Diabolical. Not only that, I was also the only African American woman on my team. So with that, I was subject to a lot of uncomfortable conversation, a lot of uncomfortable questioning, a lot of the time I felt like I had to be the spokesperson for an entire race because I was the only one available to give an answer. So I was subject to answering questions like, why do black people get so mad when other races call them the N-word, but they call each other the N-word? Now, if you know my aunt, who I was raised around, that's my girl, she kind of taught me a lot when it came to using the N-word and why we shouldn't use it and whatnot. So I felt like the response that I had for that question was definitely appropriate. However, it took me a minute because I was just like taken back by the audacity of the questioning that was taking place. Like, whoa, like we just jumping right in there, huh? Like, okay, well, so I gave my reasoning that I thought was appropriate and whatnot, but that was only one situation of many to where I felt like I had to answer for an entire race of people. Not only did I feel like I had to answer for an entire race of people, I also felt like they viewed me as some sort of project, or I don't know. What is it? They were very amused by everything that I did. So as Black women, we often change our hair. I actually take pride in it because I love a good new style. I love to switch it up. I love to come in one day blonde, the next day with braids, the next day with a bob, like just the whole nine. However, when you do that and you work in corporate America, you have the Beckys that like to question or touch. There was a time when a woman actually came up to me and touched my hair, caressed me as if she was petting an animal or a dog or something like that, just rubbing my hair, and I'm just like, wow, that's very intrusive, if you will. So you're in my personal space, like back up. And while I tried not to take offense to a lot of these things, everybody I feel has a breaking point, or a point where they're just like, okay, I'm done. This is too much. And I definitely came to that realization after 5 years of being there, and them taking advantage of me became very, very clear. We had to take a break because I'm a mom now. So Chosy Bozy wanted to eat, so we had to stop everything and let baby Josie eat. Ain't that right? Baby boy's back. He obviously wants to make his presence known, so here we are. So as I was saying, there were certain times where I was chastised or criticized about doing things in a timely manner. Okay, so basically I was yelled at because I was taking too long with completing a project, my weekly projects or assignments, if you will. And if you know me, I definitely take my time when it comes to executing anything that I'm working on. I don't know what it is about it, but I definitely am like one of the slowest people that you might encounter, especially when it comes to work. I'm thorough, but I'm slow. So in that regard, there was a new hire who started that didn't look like me, and she not jeez, just let it all out, huh? And not only did she start and the same assignment that I was chastised for not completing in a timely manner, they split the job amongst 3 people for the same job that I was doing by myself in order for it to get complete. And when it wasn't complete in a timely manner, nobody said anything. They actually gave grace and was like, oh, you'll be fine, you're just learning. But when I was just learning, I had to know everything and have it done by this date or else. I was promoted again, this time to team lead. And with that responsibility came, basically I was like the team lead over the entire office because of my seniority. I took the position knowing that I wouldn't be compensated any more than what I was already being paid. However, what I didn't expect was for the workload to be continuously growing. Everybody else's workload stayed the same, yet they were steady getting pay raises and promotions. So there was a time where all of us were making the same amount of money, but only I had the bigger workload. When that came about, I was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to leave just yet because there's still some things that I want to learn with being in this position so that I can take it with me when I start my own business or when I pick back up with owning my own business. So I saw it, but I wasn't quite ready to leave yet. I wasn't ready to leave until I was practically being bullied by one of my coworkers. And when I brought it to the attention of upper management, they pretty much demoted me and just called it or chalked it up to changes in the company. I felt like at that point that was my final straw because there's no way I'm training management to do my job or about things that they should know about, but getting paid the same as somebody that's been here half the time that I've been here, whose workload is being split between 3 different people. So that's when I said enough is enough. Bless you. If you guys don't feel that I'm deserving of more pay and you don't see the problem or the issue in me not getting a pay raise and everybody being on the same level but only my workload is greater, then it's time for me to leave. Now there are certain decisions that I don't make on my own, and it will take for God himself to tell me, okay, you can do this, or give me permission to do what I need to do next. I feel like this was one of those times where God was like, okay, prepare your resignation letter. I talked to God and prayed about it. And once I got his permission to put in my resignation letter, I talked to my husband about it. I said, baby, I'm about to quit my job. And he was like, why? And I told him everything that was happening. And he was like, okay. Once I got that okay from my God and my man, that was really all that I needed. Because I'm not about to get stressed out at 5 months pregnant for a job that clearly doesn't care about me. Doesn't care about my well-being. Doesn't care about my mental health or anything like that. Just don't care. Like, you don't care about the finance aspect of it. You don't care about the fact that this woman is 60 years old sitting here trying to bully me. So much so that I actually had to bring it to the attention of management, because don't get me wrong, I know banter in the office is a thing. However, whenever I'm telling you that I feel uncomfortable, I'm not one to complain. So if I'm actually voicing my opinion or voicing concern, then I expect for it to be taken seriously. And when it wasn't taken seriously, I felt some type of way. I definitely felt some type of way, and that was enough for me. So you're not about to overwork me, underpay me, discriminate against me. Let this woman treat me any kind of way or say or do anything to me. And then when I say something to her back, I'm just the angry black woman and get away with it. Like, no. As I said before, everybody has boundaries, everybody has their limits, and I had definitely reached mine. I also felt very stuck and complacent at that job. I felt like it was paying me enough to get by, but it was also distracting me from the things that I know God told me that I should be doing. It was distracting me from fulfilling my dreams and desires. I would go to work and come home so drained. I wouldn't have energy for myself, let alone my husband. And then I could only imagine what that would have been like with having my son. I always told myself that I would not do or repeat the cycle of what I saw my mom do. All my life, I saw my mom sacrifice herself just so that she can get a check and take care of us. And it took her away from us. It took her away from her calling. It took her from a lot of things, and it just created a lot of stress. And I saw that, and I promised myself and I promised her that I would not follow in the same steps. So I felt like if I didn't leave when I left, after God gave me the permission and once I had the okay from my husband, I would remain stuck. I had been at that job for 5.5 years, and for like 3 of those 5.5 years, I knew. Actually, I went into that job knowing that I only want to be there for a year. 1 year turned into 5.5, and I still wasn't doing what I was called to do. Once I left, I got my senior license. That was something that I have been praying about, because I will work the same job in healthcare without my license and get paid significantly less for the job that Cena's was doing and getting paid more for. So I left to follow my dream, if you will. I left to accomplish other things that I knew I needed to accomplish and wanted to accomplish for myself and my family and my son as well. So I guess you can say that was another thing. Or another reason why I left. Don't get me wrong, I appreciated the position while I had it. It definitely served its purpose. However, I just knew that I was not supposed to be there for as long as I was. And at that point, or at this point, I knew that if I would have stayed, it would have been a lot harder for me to leave, considering the fact that I had a child on the way. But since quitting, I've been able to accomplish some things that I've been trying to accomplish for literally years. I currently have a job offer making what I was making plus some in a field that I felt or I feel is where I'm supposed to be. Being at that job, my old job, I felt very stuck. I told y'all that. But I also felt like I was getting depressed. Like I definitely was depressed because again, it wasn't giving me everything that I needed. I didn't feel fulfilled. Even though I was team lead, I had the highest position in our office. I definitely was like, doing big things in the area or the setting that I was in. However, I still didn't feel fulfilled. I felt very depressed. The setting itself was very depressing. There were no windows, so we would be in the office with no windows, 8 people, and it was the size of a bedroom, and for 8 hours in a day. I don't know about y'all, but I need me a little sunlight, a little breeze coming through. And we wasn't getting that, not in that setting. So I definitely felt like it was time to move. Once I got the confirmation from God and my husband, I was like, okay, I'm out of here. And I turned in my resignation letter and haven't been back since. I do feel that like now was the time for that move, because I wanted my son to see mommy thriving in something that she loved to do. I didn't want him to watch me suffer and think that was the way to go. Like that was how life had to be in order for you to have money or be successful or seem successful. you had to sacrifice yourself and time with family. I wanted to set a better example for him, to let him know that you can live out your dreams, you can achieve and accomplish the desires of your heart. As long as you put God first and you include God in everything that you do, you can and you will. And I wanted to show him that. I wanted to be the example that he had, that he can do it. I don't regret the decision that I made to come off of my job. I'm actually proud of myself for having done so and made that sacrifice, because ever since, like I said before, I've just been accomplishing everything that I wanted to accomplish for years. I haven't looked back. I don't miss anything about my job. Maybe the people a little bit, or a few people from that job a little bit, but I don't have that feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have quit, or oh, I miss working here so bad, I wish I could go back. I haven't had that feeling. I don't expect to have that feeling. Bless you. I've been enjoying myself, my time, my freedom, and it's created a space and opportunity for me to create, to get closer to God. I had a wonderful pregnancy. I was relaxed and calm and chill. Because also, what I forgot to add throughout that process, when I was working while I was pregnant, I would have to get up so early just to get to work on time, and that in itself took such a toll on me. It was way too much. I would be dizzy, I would feel nauseated, and I've done that I've done that in the past, where I've pushed myself against what my body was telling me, and the outcome wasn't a successful pregnancy, if you will. And I wasn't going through that again. I told myself that it's not worth it. No job, especially not a job that doesn't care about me, is worth my well-being, or me being able to have children. So I took that as an opportunity to walk away from something that no longer served me. It looked good, and I felt good saying that I worked in such an establishment, or worked for such an establishment. It made me, at one point, it was my identity. But I didn't feel at this point in my life that it served me any longer. I felt like it had run its course, and it was time for me to leave. So I left. I just want to be the best version of myself, for myself, not only for myself, but my husband and my son. I want to be the best version of myself so that I can be an example for him, like I said before. I want to be the best version of myself so that I can continue to live out the assignment that God has given me, and do it well. I want to experience the goodness of all the gifts that God has blessed me with. And I didn't feel like I could do that while working in corporate America. So, if you're not feeling valued in a place, or you're not feeling like you're appreciated for all that you do in a situation that you're in, pray about it. Let God know exactly what you want, and then wait for him to give you the okay. I feel like that's very important. You have to wait for him to give you that okay, because when I say God has provided ever since I left that job, I mean just that. He has literally provided for myself and my family. We have not missed a beat. My son has had everything that he's needed without a shower, and now he's gonna get his shower as well. My whole pregnancy was relaxed. Any stress that I had during my pregnancy was brought upon myself by fearing and worrying when I didn't have reason to. And I had to repent on for some of that stuff too. Our bills were taken care of. We didn't get put out our apartment. Like, God is amazing. When he says move, you gotta move. So definitely appreciate that. It takes a different level of faith, I'm not gonna lie. All you need is faith the size of a mustard seed, and God will do the rest. And when I say he will do the rest, he will do the rest. He'll provide. He'll take care of you. So that's why I quit my job at 5 months pregnant, in the middle of in the middle of planning a wedding. But one thing I am trying to promise myself is that I won't ever stay somewhere that long when I know I'm not supposed to be there, or when I know it's not fulfilling me. Whenever something is challenging my mental health in such a way, I'm not gonna let it. So yeah, we're just gonna vibe out while I finish my face and tend to my sunshine.
How you catch up on the AR? How you did that? Track out, lift up when you take off. How you did that? You put switches up on your blinkies. How you did that? Your LV back turned to a legit. How you did that? I seen that duck turn to a Louis. How you did that? That look like a brand new booty. How you did that? You got face stones and no real watch. How you did that? You hear some skeletons in your closet. Why you did that? How you yelling slash slash? How I kill a cat? Yeah, hopping around in the two to make back pillows in the back. Too many rounds in the Philly acting. Someone gon' get wet. How you gon' get me when you still owe me? How you gon' do that? Snatch a Ruger bag, give a nigga a yak attack. I get my shooter whack, meat and cheese and that's the rap. Ain't nighttime but your tango. How you do that shit? Me and Glenn, I'm fuck the same hoe. How you do that bitch? Shit, I catch up on the AR. How you did that? Check out, lift up when you take off. How you did that? You put switches up on your blinkies. How you did that? Your LV back turned to a legit. How you did that? I seen that duck turn to a Louis. How you did that? That look like a brand new booty. How you did that? You got face stones and no real watch. How you did that? You hear some skeletons in your closet. Why you did that? They hit your man, you ain't get no straightening. How you live with that? She fucked the hood. How you lay and have a kid with that? My jello go to a special who blow. Yeah, I did that. Kick more shit than you know. And she like, I did. How you get that shit? You got a romantic on your hoe. Let me back sit, bitch. I'm too rich to drive a road. Walk my shit like plumber, me and gun diamond flesh. I'm gon' ball out summer, just all grinding for a month. Lil' hop out dump, shit, I catch up on the AR. How you did that? Check out, lift up when you take off. How you did that? You put switches up on your blinkies. How you did that? Your LV back turned to a legit. How you did that? I seen that duck turn to a Louis. How you did that? That look like a brand new booty. How you did that? You got face stones and no real watch. How you did that? You hear some skeletons in your closet. Why you did that? Bitch, I'm too rich to drive a road. Walk my shit like plumber, me and gun diamond flesh. I'm gon' ball out summer, just all grinding for a month. Lil' hop out dump, shit, I catch up on the AR. How you did that? Check out, lift up when you take off. How you did that? You put switches up on your
say she eats. Especially once I put some lip gloss on. Yeah. Thumbnail.